Wednesday, and I've had an awesome week. Also send prayers out to one of the YouTube subscribers that I follow, Asha. She's been in the hospital, so we're praying, for her speedy recovery. And head over to her channel. I will put the playlist again of like some of the people that I follow with autoimmune. It is in that video that I did the Q&A collaboration on, which I'll leave a link above. I am headed to get my fluids. I haven't really done it since I got fluids on the 14th. And then, of course, I got fluids the day of my surgery, but I haven't had them since then. So we're going to see how today goes and see if I can make it through the 2 hours for them to give me what I need. So, just to give you some, I guess, updates. My doctor, they are changing my order. So when I do get my Benlysta, I will start to receive the steroid pre-medication prior to getting my Benlysta. I just want to see if that will help with my potassium and protein in my urine. The more and more research I've been doing, the pain, I know it's kidney pain, but I used to have this, like, I've noticed like with the shortness of breath, and when I was on oxygen before, I always felt like I had this feeling of like a golf ball or a tennis ball. I felt like it was in my lung because it was hard to kind of tell. But the area where I'm hurting is definitely strictly all kidney, and just doing more extensive research on kidney disease, because you can have kidney disease and have a normal, BUN and creatinine, but other levels can be elevated. So I am researching more. My rheumatologist is going to send me to a new nephrologist. Hopefully soon I can get in with someone and explain, because I definitely feel like it is kidney disease and kidney damage, and I don't want anything to get any worse than what it already is. So yeah, I just say everyone be proactive when it comes to your health. Some doctors care, some don't. I'm not saying my doctor doesn't care. I just think that she's overwhelmed with all of these new patients, and she branched off from the local hospital, so she has her own private practice. So that's a lot harder when you don't have someone to help you. So I'm just going to be proactive and just do the research that I have to do myself, because that would explain. I'll have a link in the description box. There's 15 signs that you probably have kidney disease, and literally out of the 15, I think I have 14. It will cause you to have shortness of breath. And when I was on oxygen for that 1.5 years, always feeling that pain, what now is my kidney area, like the golf ball or whatever. They could never tell me why my oxygen was so low and would drop when I would get up and move around. All they could say was just, it must be your lupus just attacking your lungs. But most people, if they're on oxygen that's lupus related, they have something to go along with it, whether it's interstitial lung disease, pulmonary fibrosis, pulmonary hypertension that causes shortness. Like, none of those things were coming up as my diagnosis. So now I understand, and now I'm back to that point to where I'm having the shortness of breath more frequently, like I did right before, when I was on oxygen. So I'm going to be on it. I'm going to also get with my primary care doctor to get some more labs drawn, because one thing the neurologist mentioned was a lot of people that have low potassium, their magnesium is off. No one's ever checked my magnesium. So I'm going to get him to draw me, give me an order for a magnesium level. And I'm just going to hit the ground running, because I just can't deal with I just can't. I'm miserable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already bad enough that you're in flares, but then there's something else, and you've always known that there's something else wrong. So that's my thing. So when I get to the hospital, Well, after I'm done, I'm going to get copies of my labs from January to the present, so I can start doing my chart like I was telling you guys in previous videos. So yeah, it's almost like you're excited because it's like, okay, I figured it out. And it's bad that you've got to self-diagnose and figure stuff out where doctors should be figuring out. And also, I feel also that it was part of the doctor's fault because she was giving me prednisone without weaning me off, even though it was 5 milligrams for 7 days, you know, a week before my infusion. You should have still weaned me off because prednisone comes in 1 milligrams as well, and that was not done. So that, on top of the symptoms I already had, you know, had with the kidney failure and the kidney issues and the, you know, like, she just didn't do what she was supposed to do. So I would definitely be telling her that. And I think what I'm going to do, a lot of people suggested that I get a second opinion from a different rheumatologist. Like, here in our area, we have probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 rheumatologists, I think. And I went to one that I didn't like, you know, that misdiagnosed. And then I went to her, which I like, but it's just getting to be too many slip-ups and, you know, lack of concern, in my opinion. So I'm going to go do what's called a meet and greet, just to meet the doctor, let them know my story, and see if that's something that they feel like they can help me with before I move all of my records over, you know, to someone completely new if they can't help me. So that's a good tip for you guys. You know, if you feel like a doctor, or you want to try out a new doctor, your insurance will allow you to just go in. Well, I mean, they don't even charge you. It's just a simple meet and greet. They're not supposed to charge your insurance because they're not examining you. You're just going in to meet the doctor, just to, you know, say, this is my history. Is this something you're capable of handling? That's what's on my agenda. My sister is still in the hospital. She's still on blood thinners. They can't get her oxygen under control. She developed some type of abscess on her neck. So I'm trying to let her daughters know, like, hey, this autoimmune, you know, she's already a diabetic. She doesn't need to be on her immunosuppressants while they're giving her antibiotics. Y'all really need to push to make sure they get a rheumatologist. And she said they think they're going to get a rheumatologist. But, you know, like, the story behind, like, I met my sister, like, a couple years ago for the first time. So sometimes, like, I think, I don't know if they maybe feel like, oh, or you just think you know it all, kind of like my nieces, because they're older than me. So, and that's not the case. I'm just letting them, because I don't think they're educated enough on the severity of autoimmune. Like, I think they just think, oh, well, it attacks, you know, just her muscles. So I'm praying that they take heed to what I'm saying, or at least consult her rheumatologist, because they can better get a handle on the infection and know how to treat her, and with her breathing. So I'm just, you know, praying that that goes well. I'm working on a lot of projects for home and a lot of ideas that I want to do to incorporate in the channel. Surgery wise, I feel like I'm, you know, about 90% back to my normal self. My husband got me out of the house yesterday for the first time, and we were literally gone for over 3.5 hours or more. And while I'm moving, like, yeah, I was hurting, but like, I didn't really notice how bad until I stopped. And by the time I got home, I could barely move. I was hurting and spasming up in my entire body so bad. I, you know, took my medication, and I ended up going to sleep before 10 o'clock, and I ended up waking up. So that's hence why I look the way I do, because I was up till, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. I didn't even sleep long, probably 30 minutes, 45 tops. But I was just miserable. This pain in my, you know, kidney area, my side is just really nagging. It hurts so bad. So therefore, it makes me, you know, end up sleeping until 11 o'clock. And it's like, oh, time to get in the shower and go to this appointment. I'm going to see how I feel, and maybe not get too much of the fluids as far as like going for the second. I know I'm not going for the second administering of it this week because I didn't schedule it. I just wanted to try to go back in slowly to see how I feel, because I don't want to, you know, do any harm, you know, to my body. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of really anything else. I may go to a couple stores when I leave here, depending on how I feel. And I'll probably do a separate like haul video if I find some things at some of the stores. Because there's a new store here called Roses that I never knew it was there, because it's like tucked off. So they have a lot of home decor stuff, you know, at a discounted rate. So I think I'm going to go by there in Dollar Tree, because I need to get some more items for some DIYs that I'm trying to work on. Yeah, that's it. So I will probably send you guys, or come back a little later, I'm not sure, because I don't want these vlogs to be so long. So I think I'm just going to try to do one day at a time, and edit to make it, you know, at least less than 15 minutes. So alright guys, talk to you later.